Minister, last year the government took more in VAT on fuel and energy than they did in any of the previous years. An incredible fact, Minister. Statistics that we in aim to have got through PQs have shown that the government are quids in. The government are making massive amounts of VAT currently on energy. VAT on electricity last year reached a record level of €381 million, up 40% on 2021. VAT on petrol, diesel, solid fuel, LPG have all increased nearly 30% in a year in which families were hit and hurting the most. And this government is actually taking more now in increased taxes than it's giving back in energy credits. An incredible thing. So the government is lauding itself in giving energy credits to hard-hit families, but is actually taking more out of their pockets to give them that money as well. At the same time, we have energy companies that are making supernormal profits. Shell made a record profit of $40 billion last year. BP reported a record profit of $28 billion last year. The ESB in this state made nearly €400 million profit just in the first 6 months of last year. An incredible thing that you would have the state quids in an energy crisis and these private and semi-state companies quids in while people are suffering so much. Now, people have woken up this morning of the news that wholesale electricity prices have fallen 41% in the last quarter of last year. Wholesale electricity prices are actually 17% cheaper now compared to the last quarter before the war in Ukraine. We have the lowest electricity prices at wholesale levels at a time where people are being gouged in terms of the electricity prices that they're being charged in their own homes. And this is happening as well at a time where large companies are actually achieving far lower prices for electricity currently than is being given to the normal family living at home. This is one of the most unequal and unfair electricity and energy markets that has existed for decades. And it's happening at a time where people are suffering the most. You're allowing the market that you're standing over, that you have organised, that exists under your government, is allowing for supernormal profits to be created, massive taxes to be gathered, when people are finding it hard to heat their own homes, when older people are spending half the day in bed to stay warm, when we have people going to food banks to be able to feed their children. Now, Minister, how can you stand over that? And, I've been trying to work this out because the government has been so slow in saying that it is very difficult to create a windfall tax that's fair and equitable. Yet the Italian government have created a windfall tax that collected €3 billion last year. The British, the Tory government, managed to create a windfall tax that collected billions of pounds sterling last year. And even on the decoupling of the price of electricity from the price of gas, your government has said you can't do that it's a European competency. But in actual fact, we have seen Spain and Portugal decouple those prices to make it cheaper for their people. And I'm wondering, I can understand Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have previous in terms of allowing for this terrible division exists, but why are the Green Party doing it? Is it in the Green Party's interest to keep the price of fuel high? Is it part of the Green Party's objective to keep high energy costs in this state to reduce the consumption of energy? Are the Green Party putting their objectives in terms of reduction of fuel consumption ahead of a family's ability to heat their own homes?
Thank you, Deputy. And moving on to the